Analyzer 9.5 build 9500, which has a lot of features, and a complete UI revamp has been done on the product. These are all the features which are in the 9.5. That is, revamp user interface. The look and feel of NetFlow Analyzer user interface has been modified for better user experience. That is, you can access any report or any tab with minimum number of clicks. Cisco MediaNet technology. Over a period, all the traffic on a corporate network or in any kind of network will be video and voice traffic. So this has to be monitored and reported if there is any latency, jitter on the network. For this, the Cisco NetFlow itself has introduced some of the fields which reports on jitter, latency, and packet loss for this kind of video and voice traffic. And support for AppFlow protocol. AppFlow is a kind of NetFlow IP6 protocol with reporting capability is much forward. Like it has also app ID and URL monitor, which lists all the traffic going through a particular application or a particular URL. Create and monitor IP groups using WAN RTT monitor. The WAN RTT in NetFlow Analyzer monitors the jitter, latency that are happening on your network for a data traffic. And you can also create an IP group for IP group using IP address and IP range and monitor the latency that are happening on your network for those IP range. And performance tuning. In the earlier version, either support technician or you have to follow a few steps to tune the product in order for better performance. And this particular feature is brought into the UI itself. You can tune the product from the UI itself based on the system hardware configuration you have. And moving on to the product presentation, as I told you, this NetFlow Analyzer is a complete and comprehensive bandwidth monitoring tool, all-in-one tool which monitors all network traffic passing through your network. You can troubleshoot your network spikes, and if you have any bandwidth outage, you can check what is really happening on your network. And this is a powerful traffic analysis and network forensic tool. All software solution requires no hardware probes. You can install it on a very good hardware configuration machine, and you can start monitoring your network devices which are capable of exporting NetFlow, S-Flow, or IP6 and AppFlow data. Provides in-depth visibility into network traffic and its patterns. Multiple monitoring technology in single solution. That is, you can monitor network traffic using NetFlow, S-Flow, IP6, AppFlow export, and all major flow formats from other vendors are supported, like NetStream from Huawei routers are supported. CBQS monitoring for validating QoS policies. This is one of the major technology used by many organizations to shape their traffic in order to prioritize their business critical application when comparing to the other non-critical application. And you can monitor those policies applied performance using CBQS monitoring in NetFlow Analyzer. And Cisco NBAR support, that is both SNMP and flexible NetFlow NBAR is supported. NBAR is a network-based application recognition which comes with Cisco iOS, where the Cisco iOS itself will do a deep packet analysis and find out application traffic utilization. And NetFlow Analyzer poll them using SNMP and get what are all the application using the traffic, and NBAR has a tendency to identify random port application, peer-to-peer applications. Cisco IPSLA, VoIP, and WAN RTT. This particular feature allows you to check the link capability and capacity of VoIP and carrying VoIP and WAN, VoIP and data traffic. That is, you can create a VoIP monitor in NetFlow Analyzer which actually simulates a UDP packet and check whether the particular link carrying a voice traffic is really capable of really capable of carrying this kind of traffic. And it reports on jitter, latency, packet loss on that particular link for wide traffic. And WAN RTT, it is used for to check latency and packet loss for data traffic. Cisco WAS. Cisco WAS is used by many distributed architecture enterprise to compress their traffic from one side to other side. That is, Cisco WAS will have WAs, which is WAN Accelerator Engine, and a central manager. A central manager is the one which manages all the WAs, and WAs, what it will do is it compress the LAN traffic and send it across WAN. And you can monitor each WAE and their compression and decompression ratios using Cisco WAS module. And it is a free module available in Professional and Professional Plus. And this particular feature, MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting, is also a free feature which is available with the 9.5 till 9500. The MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting will help you to find out how the voice and wide traffic behaving on your network. That is, it reports on jitter, latency, and packet loss for each voice and video traffic. And it is a complete free feature which is available with Professional and Professional Plus. What you have to do for this particular MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting is your router should be capable of exporting NetFlow packets with the performance monitor parameters like jitter, latency, and packet loss, and it is supported from Cisco iOS 15.1. And flow-based security analytics module, which help you to analyze the security threats that are happening on your network. That is, it uses same NetFlow exported from the router and reports you on security events that are happening on your network. Why you need NetFlow Analyzer? Report on network bandwidth usage. It reports on who is using the bandwidth, what amount of traffic is being utilized, and what application is consuming the bandwidth, and who is conversing with whom, and what port and protocol is being used. And DSCP based QoS, ToS, next of TCP flags information. That is DSCP based in the sense some of the organizations will use DSCP marking to prioritize their own customized application or business critical application. They will be giving a high prioritized binary value to prioritize the traffic, so that when that particular traffic reaches the router, it gets prioritized when comparing to other normal traffic. And those kind of reports can be seen in NetFlow Analyzer. And class-based QoS traffic analysis, which is CBQoS feature, and deep packet inspection of layer 7 traffic visibility, which is Cisco NBAR. Cisco IPSLA to verify network quality and performance, which is VoIP and WAN RTT module. Flow-based security analytics, which is ASAM, Advanced Security Analytics module, to analyze the security events that are happening on your network. And Cisco voice monitoring, video traffic monitoring, which is MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting. Centralized monitoring console for entire network traffic. That is, this is a software-based solution, and you do not need any hardware probes. Once you install the product on a very good hardware configuration machine, you can start exporting NetFlow packets from your network devices and monitor them in a single shot. Multiple monitoring technologies in a single product. That is, it supports NetFlow, SFlow, JFlow, CFlow, IPFix, AppFlow, NetStream, etc. And apart from this, Cisco technologies like CBQoS, NBAR, IPSLA, MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting, Cisco WAS monitoring. This is how NFA works. You have to configure your router to export NetFlow packets where the NetFlow Analyzer is installed. It automatically receives the packet. If there is no block on your network on UDP port 9996, it generates reports, traffic reports. And you can connect the UI and see who is using the bandwidth by drilling down to each interface, or you can create IP groups to monitor specific IP address or IP range utilization. Features that are in NetFlow Analyzer: traffic analysis, network forensics, network planning, IP accounting, IPv6 support, preliminary support is available. Enhanced Cisco ASA NetFlow export, WAS, wide area application service monitoring, video traffic monitoring, which is MediaNet and MediaTrace, Cisco NBAR report, reporting on Cisco CBQS, usage-based billing. You can bill the customers based on their usage. You can bill for an interface or an IP group and NetFlow Analyzer, which generates bill based on the bill date you specify, and it sends a report to you. Capacity planning and application growth report using NetFlow Analyzer. You can plan your network. If you're running a NetFlow Analyzer for a couple of years, and if you want to compare how the traffic was behaving in last year and comparing to this year, and if you find the application traffic, one particular application traffic is growing year to year, you can plan your network. Either you can set some QoS policies on your network to limit other application traffic utilization and prioritize your business critical application, or you can increase the pipe so that the application traffic flows through that particular link. And flow-based security analytics and Cisco IPSLA VoIP and WAN RTT. Traffic analysis. You can visualize traffic patterns with real-time graphs. NetFlow Analyzer reporting are based on real-time. You can see each and every minute transactions on traffic page, and you can click on each data point to see who is using the bandwidth and what application is using the bandwidth. You can generate various time period report like last hour up to even last year using custom selection, and it reports on who is using the bandwidth, that is top source and related conversation reports, and when, ranging from last minute to forever, where, top destination and related conversation report, and what, top application and protocol reports, who is using the bandwidth and what application is using and what port and protocol is using, and how much amount of traffic is that particular conversation is handling. That can be seen using NetFlow Analyzer. And network forensics, that is ability to examine packets on their numerous fields in detail. That is, the raw data report in NetFlow Analyzer will help you to find out each conversation volume and the speed, as well as their TCP flags, and it gives complete port level information for each set of conversations that are happening on your network. And conversations and interface. Knowing the source IP address of conversations and their inbound and outbound interfaces is critical to tracking and understanding unusual behavior. Say, if you find a particular source IP that is using maximum bandwidth, you can find out through which interface it is entering and which interface it is leaving out. And network forensics. We have two types of data. One is raw data and aggregated data. Raw data is each and every flow from the router which is stored in the database for 30 days. You can store it for 30 days, or you can do your custom selections like 1 week or 2 weeks and 1 day. The raw data is each and every flow from the router which gets stored in the database, and it has complete port level information. It helps you to identify virus, worm, DOS attacks in real time, understand the aggregated data which is based on top 100, help you to understand the history of security violation with alert reports. And the aggregated data will give you a overview of network traffic behaving on your network links, which gives top 100 reports for source, destination, conversation, and applications. Network planning. Historical aggregated data, track and anticipate network growth. That is, as I told you, you can use capacity planning report or the normal reports that are available on the product to track and anticipate the network growth, how the traffic was behaving in the past and how it is behaving now. Optimize bandwidth utilization. Using the reports produced by NetFlow Analyzer, you can optimize the bandwidth on your network link, either by setting some QoS policies or blocking some of the traffic through access list. And validate quality of service. The DSCP marking report will allow you to validate the quality of service. Say you have specified EF marking for a voice traffic, and it has been utilizing 50% of your bandwidth, which is actually good. If a traffic is voice highest priority is given to that particular traffic. And if you see that even the 50% of utilization and the voice call is and bad in quality, you can increase the bandwidth allocated for that particular voice traffic so that the quality of voice calls will be much more than the area. Minimize cost and maximize performance, capacity, and reliability. So, using NetFlow Analyzer reports, you can minimize the cost spending on network enhancements like increasing the pipe or getting WAN accelerators to compress your LAN and LAN traffic and pushing out of the WAN. So based on the reports, you can find out who is using the bandwidth or what application is consuming the bandwidth when comparing to your business critical application, and you can minimize, you can allocate a minimum amount of bandwidth to a non-critical application so that your business critical application gets maximum prioritization when it comes to bandwidth utilization. IP accounting. This is one of the major features used by almost all the customers, which is also called IP grouping in NetFlow Analyzer. Identifying department-wise bandwidth usage. That is, you can create an IP group in NetFlow Analyzer with the IP range of one particular department or IP network of their department and monitor how much amount of traffic is being utilized by that particular department. And if a customer is a service provider or is working on a client service basis and providing an internet connection to the clients on a single pipe, so what he can do is he can group each client's IP network in a separate IP groups and build them based on their bandwidth usage. And advanced IP group classification engine, that is, it supports not only IP address, IP range, IP network, it also supports IP application. You can filter the traffic based on application and DHCP marking. Separate view for each entity. You can drill down to each IP groups and find out who is using the bandwidth and what amount of traffic is being handled by this particular IP network using IP group report. Monitor IP groups using WAN RTT monitor. That is, you have a remote site in which group of users are using bandwidth or accessing the particular application on a data center, and if you want to find out their latency when accessing that particular application, what you can do is you can create an IP group and associate the WAN RTT module to a particular IP group so that a ping packet, a simulated ping packet will be sent to each IP addresses on the IP group and to find out what is their latency on that particular interface. IPv6 support. As of now, IPv6 support is available only with raw data. That is, you can see IPv6 related conversations in the NetFlow Analyzer report in a raw NetFlow data. Future ready network monitoring. Enhancement will be done based on customer demand. As of now, we do not have much demand for IPv6. Till now, most of the companies are using IPv4 addressing. Once the demand arises, all the aggregation data as well as the IP group data will be based on IPv6 addressing. Enhanced Cisco ASA NetFlow. ASA export NetFlow package, but it is not a regular NetFlow export like what the router or the switch, Cisco switches do. It exports NetFlow packets when an event triggers on a device. Event means if access is denied for a particular kind of traffic, that is one event. And if a traffic is a connection is happened from a local IP address to a public IP address, that is one event. So whenever the events are triggered on a device, on a Cisco ASA, and NetFlow packets will be triggered from ASA to NetFlow Analyzer so that we receive the NetFlow packet and show you a original IP address and mapped IP address. That is, most of the companies will do a one-to-one map natting or one-to-many natting on the Cisco ASA. That is, when an internal IP address goes through an outside world, the internal IP address will be masked and a public IP address of firewall will be in the source IP address, and it will be sent to WAN or cloud. So you can see both original and map IP address in the conversation report or in the raw data report. NSCL, that is, NSCL is called NetFlow Secure Event Logging, which I told you. The Cisco ASA export NetFlow packets only if there is event triggered on a device. So when there is a flow creation, that is, if there is a connection from one particular IP address to another IP address, which is in cloud or WAN, that is a flow creation. If there is a denied traffic, you can see a NetFlow Analyzer. Wide area application service monitoring. In-depth visibility in optimization and WAN application. That is, what is the optimization, compression and decompression ratio on a particular WAE module. WAE is also called WAN Accelerator Engine. Reports on complete distribution of application optimized by any WAE. That is, when you click on a particular WAE, it gives application optimization. What is the LAN traffic coming in? If it is 90 MB, and how much rate it is compressed. If it goes out to WAN as a 40 MB, almost 50% of your traffic has been compressed and sent out of a particular WAE. These kind of reports can be seen in Cisco WAS module. You can also compare each WAE performance or the compression and decompression ratio with NetFlow traffic, NetFlow exporting router, which is adjacent or peering to that particular WAE. Allows to compare with NetFlow application reports, which is where you can compare the NetFlow reports of router which is peering to that particular WAE. Wide area application service. These are all the screenshots for WAS reporting. You can see group name. Say some of the companies will group their WAEs based on the location or based on their user convenience. And you can see there are WAE groups, and one of the WAE which is listed at the top is compressing the traffic entering through each WAE with 53% reduction. That is, if it is 100 MB, it is reducing to 50 MB. And you can see the LAN traffic entering that particular WAE, WAE is 703 MB, and it has been compressed to 328.7 MB. So the compression ratio is about 53.23, and compressed traffic is 374.25 MB. So the WAE device list, which you can see at the bottom, which lists all the WAEs, that is top 10 WAEs. You can click on each WAE to see what is the compression ratio and what application is being compressed. This is the WAE report, optimized traffic. You can see the LAN traffic is 703 MB and it is being compressed to 268, which is 53.23, and increased capacity is 2.62x. And MediaNet report. Display traffic in, traffic out, details based on media volume, round trip time, packet loss, jitter. The detailed report provides a complete view about the resource selected. The competitors are the similar NetFlow reporting tools in the market. They charge for MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting, but this is an essential feature which has to be delivered at free of cost with the existing NetFlow tool, because over a period, the data traffic passing through a link will be reduced, and it will be mostly video or web traffic, and it has to be monitored, and it has to be you have to keep an eye on it. So we do not charge for any charge for this particular feature, and it is absolutely free with Professional and Professional Plus. The reports provided by MediaNet is if that particular router, the routers which you are monitoring are exporting NetFlow packets with performance parameters like jitter, latency, and round trip time, that will be listed over here. You can see the alert tab in the MediaNet reports. The Cisco 2081 has violated the threshold. The threshold has been violated 24 times in a given time. The given time is today report. And RTT packet loss, how much amount of packet has been lost? That is, there is no packet loss in that particular router which are being monitored for MediaNet and MediaTrace reporting. And you can, if you are exporting multiple devices with the performance monitoring, that is Cisco MediaNet and MediaTrace parameters, that will be listed over here. And it reports on the MediaTrace, it reports on each router with their error report and no data report will be listed for each routers. And the new UI, a complete revamp of the product user interface. That is, when you look at the 9.1, the 9.1 will have a different feel, and the 9.5 is a complete UI revamp so that you can save your time when generating report. That is, it will allow you to select, allow you to access each report with minimum number of clicks. Faster navigation, easy usability, visual tweaks, that is, you can tweak the NetFlow Analyzer for the better performance using from the UI itself. Smart listing of devices, that is, we call it as grid view. Let's list each devices in its category. That is, if it is NetFlow exporting device, it will be listed in one category. If it is NetFlow exporting device, it will be listed in one category. And if it is IP6 exporting device, it will be listed in one category. And you can also see most number of visited devices, most number of visited IP groups in the grid view. Reports in NetFlow Analyzer, traffic reports, troubleshoot reports, consolidated reports, compare reports, search reports, schedule of reports, which is all these features are available in the earlier versions, and it is also carried out to the newer version 9.5. Traffic reports. The traffic tab shows real-time traffic graphs for incoming and outgoing traffic. And you can select various granularities, like granularities in the sense various averages. If an ISP is using NetFlow Analyzer, if you want to compare NetFlow Analyzer statistics with a traditional SNMP monitoring tool, he can choose 5-minute average because most of the SNMP tools are based on 5 minutes, and he can compare the traffic. Traffic graph for an interface and IP group. So you can drill down to each interface to see traffic reports and each IP group to see traffic reports with their source, destination, and conversation report. Can view the graph in terms of volume of traffic, speed, link, utilization, and number of packets received. Traffic reports will be reported with various monitoring parameters like speed, volume, link utilization, number of packets received. Ability to select the needed time periods. That is, you can drill down to various time periods from last hour, last 15 minutes to forever. Traffic report. The one which you're seeing, the screenshot which you're seeing is from the new UI. You can see how the UI is being placed. Like from, it is the complete left-hand side plane has been removed, and it is being moved to a tab view. Dashboards, devices, Cisco NBAR, IPSLA, Cisco WAS, MediaNet, security analytics, billing, reports, an admin page, or in a tab view. And for easy access, like device groups, IP groups, it is given below the tab. And the traffic report, you can see it over here with a different UI, and you can select various time periods over here. And you can also generate capacity planning report by clicking on the capacity planning report icon present at the top right corner. Troubleshoot report. The troubleshoot report in NetFlow Analyzer is completely from raw data. It gives a complete port level information for each and every conversation that are happening on that particular interface or a device. Detailed information of conversation happen in a particular time interval can be obtained from troubleshoot report. Troubleshoot report is taken directly from raw data, used for in-depth troubleshooting of network. That is, if you see a huge spike on a particular time period, you can drill down to that spike and see who is using the bandwidth at that particular point. And troubleshoot reports is listed in the UI. You can see It gives complete port level information. Source IP address, destination IP address, application, source port and destination port, TCP protocol, DHCP marking, TCP flag, and how much flow rate a particular conversation, that is how much speed the data travels for this particular conversation, and what is the download. And next hop information is seen in the UI. Consolidated report, available for device, interface, and IP group. The device consolidated report will allow you to generate a report for a particular device. It lists top interfaces and top application source, destination, and conversation report. An interface report, it is a one-page report which lists the traffic graph with application source and destination, top 10 destination report. IP group is similar to the interface group report. It lists traffic graph with top application source destination. Device consolidated report lists traffic graph with top interfaces based on utilization and speed, top application, protocol, source, destination, conversation for a device. Report generated from aggregated data. These kind of reports, based on the time period you select, it's generated from aggregated data or raw data. If it is less than last 2 hours time period, and if you are storing raw data for more than 1 week, the report will be generated from raw data for last 2 hours time period for device, interface, and for IP group, it is completely from aggregated data. And if the time period selected is greater than last 2 hours, it will be from aggregated data. And interface or IP group consolidated report. This is how the interface or IP group consolidated report looks, with the traffic graph and application source destination report. And this is a device consolidated report which can be generated using by clicking on a particular device, and the same is shown over here with the traffic graph and with the 1 minute data points listed for speed and volume. Compare report. The compare report can be used in various ways. That is, if you are going to compare device of one particular site with another particular site on another site, how much the traffic has been handling for a same time period, you can compare using NetFlow Analyzer. That is, you can select the WAN interface of site A and WAN interface of site B and compare them, how the traffic was behaving. And you can also compare IP groups or same time period or same IP group for a different time periods. You can see how the compare report will be generated. And search report. Search report for last 2 hours, it is generated from raw data. If the period is more than last 2 hours, it is generated from aggregated data. You can define your own criteria in the search report and generate a report, and you can also generate a report without giving criteria. Based on the time period you select, it comes from raw data or aggregated data. If it is last 2 hours, it is from raw data. If it is greater than last 2 hours, it is aggregated data. This is how the search report will look. You can export it to PDF or send to email address by clicking on single click email and CSV. You can export it to CSV. Schedule of report. The schedule of reports has been enhanced when comparing to much older releases. In older releases, only the consolidated report or compare report can be scheduled. But in the latest versions, you can schedule each and every report which you are seeing it on the UI, and it can be generated and sent to the concerned email address on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. Report can also be sent to multiple email address defined on the report. And the reports that are available on the schedule report are traffic reports, source, destination, conversation reports, application report, report profile reports can be scheduled using schedule report option. And you can also schedule QoS, NBOS, CBQoS reporting. Features available with NetFlow Analyzer Professional Plus Edition. We have two different editions. One is Professional and Professional Plus. It is a single install. When you install it as a trial version, it will be Professional Plus. And when you apply a professional license on Professional Plus, it will automatically move to Professional Edition. what is the difference between professional and professional plus? The professional and professional plus will have all the traffic reporting, but the professional plus will have four additional features, which are NBAR, CBQS, billing, and capacity planning, which will not be available on the professional edition. And Cisco NBAR support, it is a Pro Plus edition feature. It is a Pro Plus edition feature. Application recognition through deep packet analysis, allow identification of application which use dynamic port as well as those using well-known ports, which I have explained in the beginning of call. NBAR report via SNMP and flexible NetFlow. As I told you, the NBAR report can be through SNMP polling or flexible NetFlow. Flexible NetFlow in the sense you can define your own customized application to monitor the amount of bandwidth utilized by those applications and can be exported as a flexible NetFlow to NetFlow Analyzer. Flexible NetFlow NBAR removes requirement of SNMP polling. NBAR data exported along with NetFlow data, deeper visibility than through SNMP based NBAR. This is the NBAR report. You can select whether you want to see SNMP NBAR or flexible NetFlow NBAR by using the drop down option over here. You can select various different time periods by clicking on last hour report. By clicking on the drop down which is showing last hour, and you can also do the custom selections. This is the flexible NetFlow NBAR report, which shows the source IP address, destination IP address, and what application, source port, destination port, and how much amount of traffic has been utilized. There is a limitation when it comes to SNMP NBAR. It shows what application is using the bandwidth, but it will not allow us to see who is using that particular application. That particular limitation can be overcome using FNF NBAR, which gives source IP address, destination IP address, source port, destination port for a particular conversation. And Cisco CBQS reporting, Pro Plus edition feature, validation of QoS policies for monitoring class-based pre and post-policy traffic usage, class-based drops, class-based queuing, reports for each match statement. As told you, all the corporate network or even core companies want to prioritize their business critical applications, so they are setting QoS policies on their WAN interface to shape their traffic or allocate more bandwidth for their business critical application. So once the policy is implemented and given 90% of traffic should be 90% of a bandwidth should be given to a particular application, and if they want to see how that particular policy is behaving, we can use NetFlow Analyzer and poll those interfaces for QoS polling, CBQS polling, and get pre-policy and post-policy traffic usage, how the traffic was behaving before applying the policy and how it is behaving now after applying the policy, and for each class how much the drop is and how much traffic has been queued. And you can also see the configuration that are applied on the device, that is CBQ policies and the match statement which are applied on the device to set bandwidth limitations using CBQS reporting and NetFlow Analyzer. This is how the CBQS report on NetFlow Analyzer looks. It reports both parent and child policies. You can click on each parent or child policies to see how much the pre-policy and post-policy traffic is and what is the drop, and is there any traffic has been queued. And usage-based billing, generation of periodic bills for accounting and for chargeback. As I told you, the billing option is used by ISPs, and if there is a company which is providing client-based service and want to bill their clients based on their bandwidth usage, they can use the billing feature. We can create billing bill plans in NetFlow Analyzer and associate a particular interface or an IP group, and based on the traffic usage, the billing report will be generated, and it tells how much amount of bandwidth has been utilized for the billing period and what is the cost involved. And with no additional infrastructure cost. You do not require any billing tool or an hardware which collects the NetFlow packets and do billing calculation. It uses same NetFlow packets exported from the router, and the product itself calculates the traffic usage of each IP group or interface and generates the billing report. Capacity planning or application growth report. Trend analysis over period of time. That is, if you're running NetFlow Analyzer for a couple of years and want to do a trend analysis, how the traffic was behaving last year and now, how the traffic is behaving this year, and it helps to predict the traffic growth in your network over the time period. Application growth report, time-wise split of top 10 application used. That is, how a particular application is using bandwidth over the last year, and if there is an increase in the upcoming year, or if there is a high amount of traffic is being utilized by this particular application on a given interface, can be found using capacity planning report. This is the capacity planning report screenshot. It reports traffic report with 1 minute data point for about a year, and you can see a daily usage, how the traffic is being utilized for a particular interface. And application report, it reports top 10 applications using the bandwidth for the selected time period. And moving on to the capacity planning application growth report, you can see how the traffic was behaving for the selected time period when it comes to application. These are all the application growth report screenshots. And add-ons available for NetFlow Analyzer, Professional or Professional Plus. As I told you, Cisco WAS module add-on, or it is not an add-on, it is a module which comes as a free feature with Professional or Professional Plus. And XR and Cisco IPSLA are price add-on. Like you need to, like the customers has to pay add-on cost to get reports from these kind of add-ons. That is ASAM Advanced Security Analytics module which alerts or which analyze the network threats that are happening on your network using the same NetFlow or SFlow packets exported from the device. And Cisco IPSLA VoIP and WAN RTT, it is an add-on which monitors the capability and the performance of VoIP and data links. Advanced Security Analytics module, network anomaly detection, leveraging on NetFlow data. It uses same NetFlow data exported from the device and reports on anomalies that are happening on your network, and detects anomalies that surpass firewall and IDS. IDS and firewalls are recognize or blocks the security threats that are happening on your network based on predefined rules. You have to tell or you have to specify on the firewall or IDS if there is this kind of traffic on your network, block them, or alert me when there is this kind of traffic passes through your network. But NetFlow Analyzer, it is a non-signature based advanced analytics module which detects the network threats based on the NetFlow exported from the device. If say consider you have a TCP traffic going on your network, a TCP packet should have minimum of 40 bytes. And if that particular TCP packet is less than 40 bytes, it is a TCP based security threat. It might be TCP SYN violation, or a short TCP acknowledgement packets is spreading across your network. And detailed forensic investigation can be done using Advanced Security Analytics module. This is a screenshot of Advanced Security Analytics module. At the left-hand side, when you click on Security Analytics tab in the new 9.5, at the left-hand side you can see Security Analytics, Security Events. When you click on Security Dashboard, it lists all the problems and with their events, how much event count and resources. Resources in the sense whether it is based on source IP or destination IP or the router-based aggregation. and you can drill down to each problem to see which is which IP address is an offender and which IP address is a target. Cisco Voice and WAN RTT. Monitor network performance using Cisco IPSLA. That is, Cisco IPSLA will allow you to monitor the link performance which carries VoIP or data traffic. It can be divided into two categories. If you are going to analyze the performance of VoIP traffic, VoIP link, then it comes to VoIP traffic monitoring. And when it comes to data link, which when you're going to analyze the traffic passing through a data link, then it comes to WAN RTT. That is, if you are creating a VoIP monitor in NetFlow Analyzer, what it will do is the actual source router will do a simulated UDP package between source and destination, and it will be sent through the path and find out what is the jitter, latency, and packet losses. And the same happens in WAN RTT. If you create a WAN RTT module on a router using NetFlow Analyzer, it sends a ping packet to a particular destination IP address and find out if there is any packet loss or latency, and what is the round trip time. If it is, say, you are expecting the packet should return in a 12 milliseconds, and if it exceeds 12 milliseconds, then it is a violation. This is the Cisco IPSLA VoIP and WAN RTT report. Right now, which you are seeing is the RTT module report, and you can see collector name is main port LAN, and source IP address is the Cisco router, destination IP address is one of our server, and the iOS version is listed, and it gives you total availability, ICMP, echo, errors, and what is the min RTT, average RTT, and max RTT is. RTT, in the sense, it is round trip time. And the all monitors report will allow you to find out each module, each monitor created on your NetFlow Analyzer. It gives if there is jitter, packet loss, and latency, and call path, like if you're monitoring VoIP monitor on Cisco 2081 to 172.18.2.101, and what is the max average jitter? What max is 1 millisecond and average is also 1 millisecond. Other major features: sample-based NetFlow export. If it is a flow device, it exports a lot of flows. In a sense, it even exports 10 or 20,000 flows from a single device. From those devices, we can export sample-based NetFlow export so that the flow rate will be reduced. And also, the sample-based NetFlow is recommended by Cisco for major core devices which are pumping a lot of flows. It also reduces the CPU load and the memory used for exporting NetFlow package. And geolocation report for IP address. That is, you can, if you want to see from which country a particular IP address is sending traffic, you can see geolocation report for IP address. User-specific customizable dashboards. You can define your own dashboards with the reports and the widgets, and you can set as a default. Whenever you log in, you'll be able to see the reports which you have selected. And new graphical widgets, network links in Google Maps. That is, you can draw, if you have multiple or distributed location, you can place the router in each location and draw a network layout. SNMP v3 support and report profiles. Report profiles, I call it as advanced version of IP group. IP group will start collecting data only after creation, but report profile will allow you to customize and generate report from the older data which are already being collected and stored in the database. Schedule all UI reports including conversations. That is, as I told you, you can schedule all the reports that are which you are seeing it on the UI. New features, on demand, that is the new features that are available in 9.5. On demand builds and capacity planning report. That is, say you're running NetFlow Analyzer for 1 week and you're monitoring a customer link, and you didn't create a create a bill plan for that customer for this one week. And if you want to generate a billing report and send it to customer for billing purposes, what you can do is you can click on capacity planning report and specify the bill plan and generate a report so that it will list what is the cost and what is the traffic utilized for that particular 1 week. Schedule capacity planning reports and media net reports. Schedule capacity planning reports and media net reports and customizable email subject. Earlier, the alerts sent from NetFlow Analyzer are with a same subject or a predefined subject. Alert from NetFlow Analyzer or schedule report from NetFlow Analyzer. But this can be customized by the user itself when defining alert or scheduling a report. Performance tuning of the product through user interface. Earlier, we have to shut down the product and change the Java heap size and MySQL heap size manually and restart the service in order to tune the product for better performance. But this can be done from this release. You can do it from the UI itself and restart the service. It will take effect. An AS number added in AS report. An AS report, it is autonomous system report. Earlier it only shows AS name in the report. Now it shows both AS name and AS number on the report. Option to exclude weekend and business hour in capacity planning, PDF and CSV. And export reports in CSV format for device and interface based consolidated report. The consolidated report generated for device and interface can be exported to CSV. Option to load DNS names from CSV files. This is one of the major features most of the customers have requested because they want to define user-friendly name for their well-known IP address. And getting into the software and manually adding each IP address with their user-friendly name is a painful task. And we brought in this feature where a customer can specify IP address and the user-friendly name in a CSV file and directly upload it into the product. New application name has been added. As you all know, the application traffic on a product on the NetFlow Analyzer is classified based on port and protocol mapping available in the product. That is, the NetFlow packet exported from the device will actually have source IP address, destination IP address, source port, destination port protocol, and how much amount of volume. Based on the port and protocol, we classify the application. So you would have seen under application mapping there is about 1,500 applications mapped with their port and protocol. It has been increased now to 10,000. So in most of the case, all the applications that are traversing through your network can be classified with its original name instead of TCP_APP or UDP_APP. Benefits of using NetFlow Analyzer. Multiple bandwidth monitoring technology in a single product. That is, it supports all major flow export, leverages on the power of Cisco NetFlow, SFlow, IPFix, NetStream, NBAR, Cisco NBAR, Cisco CBQS, and Cisco IPSLA. Delivers unmatched network forensic troubleshooting and reporting capabilities. You can analyze network threats that are happening on your network using advanced security analytics module, troubleshoots your network spike, and advanced reporting capabilities. All software solution runs on Windows and Linux operating system, multiple versions to suit SMBs and large enterprises. Professional and Professional Plus can be used by the companies or enterprise which has less than 600 interfaces to monitor. If it is more than 600 interfaces to monitor and has a distributed architecture, they can go with the Enterprise Edition. And the PPT presentation is over, and I'm going into the product presentation, that is the new UI. So the login screen and everything, almost everything in the sense, I'd rather say it as 100% of UI has been revamped. And you can see the latest topics that are being posted in our blogs and the login screen itself, and you can select various updates that are happening on NetFlow Analyzer community. That is, this is a product video, that is demonstration video, and you can see latest topics on our forums if there is any issues or any feature requests that are happening that has been posted by our customers in community forums can be visible from the login screen itself. And the links or features, benefits, resources, customers, success stories, you can click here itself and go to the URL pages and to see what are all the features available, benefits of using NetFlow Analyzer, resources in the sense you can download the user guides, so you can find out the system configurations and case studies over here in the resources. Customers, if you want to find out who are all the customers using NetFlow Analyzer, you can find it over here. And login page, it is same. The username is admin, and once you log in, it will take you to the dashboard screen, which shows network snapshot. Network snapshot has been improved. Like you can see, top application report has been shown over in the widget with a bar graph. It reports top devices by their speed, utilization, and top interfaces by speed and utilization. And top stats dashboard. These are all predefined dashboards. When you click on top stats dashboard, it lists top protocols, top application, top devices by speed and line graph, all listed in one page. And you can also create your own dashboard by clicking on new dashboards and define widgets based on the reports that you want to see when you log in. And you can also select various time periods over here, and you can use search option to search. Say you have no time to troubleshoot the network spike, or if you want to find one particular IP address utilization, you can specify the IP address over here and generate using search option. And moving on to the next tab, devices. The device tab will list all the devices with their interfaces. Interface group also listed. If you have interface group created, and IP group, the top IP groups can be listed, can be seen over here from the can be seen from the device view. And this device view also can be changed to a like if you want to generate a report, you can drill down to each interface and generate a report. These are all what you are seeing over here. Those are all interface types. Say if it is Ethernet interface, that particular icon will be listed over here. And you can select the types of each interface over here. And if it is, say, I'm going to select a serial interface and update it so that the icons will change. This is the serial interface. And you can drill down to each interface and generate reports. And when you click on the top right corner, you can see select layout. If you want to see the UI instead of a traditional interface view, which is in the older version, which lists all the devices, an interface group, and interface and IP group, you can select the grid view. The grid view will list all the routers based on their exporting flow format. If it is NetFlow, it will be under Cisco NetFlow router category. If it is SFlow device, it will be listed in a separate column. And you can drill down to each interface from here itself. When you click on two interfaces, it will take you to that particular router, and you can drill down and generate reports. This is a troubleshooting report which is available for all the interfaces listed over here. It is generated from raw data as it's mentioned in the presentation, and you can define your own criteria and generate report. And this is a consolidated report, which is also called as quick web report, which lists a single page report with traffic graph, top application, top source and destination. And you can also click on a particular device to generate device consolidated report. If you want to see a device traffic on the whole, you can see it over here. By clicking on a particular device. And moving on to the other tab. And there is also a news on OPM and NetFlow plugin and Enterprise Edition. That is, you can ask question like the UI of NetFlow Analyzer, the Professional or Professional Plus, has been revamped when it takes effect on Enterprise Edition or NFA plugin. OPM NFA plugin, we have a different life product cycle, development cycle for both NFA Professional or Professional Plus. Once the features and the UI has been changed on standalone version, that is Professional or Professional Plus edition, it will immediately take place in the NetFlow plugin option, and it will not take more than a month time to bring it in the NetFlow plugin. Once this particular release is out, you can expect the NetFlow plugin UI to be changed in a month's time. And Enterprise Edition, we are going to do some major architectural changes on Enterprise Edition, which will be looking similar to Professional or Professional Plus Edition. And that is, you will have a single installation like Professional, where you can select whether that particular installation is a central server or collector or a pro during the installation itself, so that the setup changes based on the customer need. That is, if you want to convert a particular Professional edition to a distributed architecture, you can do it during the installation itself. And all the features that are available in the Professional or Professional Plus will also be available in the next major release of our Enterprise Edition architecture changes. And I can say you can ask the ETA when it can be released. We are in the process, and it will be maybe in the Q1 of 2012. Do you have any questions until now? If you have any questions until now. we'll continue the EOI presentation. Moving on to the device tab, as I told you, the traditional interface view, that is index page, will list all the devices, interface group, and IP group, and you can drill down to each interfaces to generate traffic reports, source, destination, and conversation reports, and also the application-wise top size reports can be drilled down, can be seen by drilling down to each interfaces. And grid view, like when you click on select layout, if you want to see the layout as a grid, which lists all the Cisco routers and NetFlow exporting devices, and most viewed IP groups, most viewed devices can be seen over here, and the recent discussions that are happening on our forums can be seen in the grid view, which is one of our major enhancements when it comes to reporting capability. And the next tab is the CBQs and NBOT tab. You can configure polling and discover devices which have the CBQs policies in it from this page, and the reports will be generated over here. This is a Pro Plus dashboard which lists top NBOT, top drop queue out policies, and top drop in policies. You can see it over here, and you can select various time periods over here, and you can also start CBQs and NBOT polling from here. By clicking on configuration at the top right corner, you can configure the CBQs and NBOT reporting for each interfaces. And IPSLA, you can earlier at the top right corner you would have find an option called modules, and then you have to select Cisco IPSLA, VoIP, or WAN entity over here. That problem has now been solved. There's one click, and you click on IPSLA, it loads the IPSLA screen with overview option, and you can create your own monitors. Like if you want to do a VoIP or WAN entity module, WAN entity monitor, that you can do it over here by clicking on configuration. And Cisco WAS. Cisco WAS, you can configure the Cisco WAS central manager's credentials over here by clicking on configuration, by clicking on admin, go to WAS settings, that is CM server settings. Once you specify the CM server IP address, CM server port, protocol, username and password, time zone, and the certificate path, the central manager will be added, and you can click on Cisco WAS to generate reports, and you can directly map corresponding WAEs with their routers over here, so that you can compare the reports of WAE with NetFlow Analyzer, NetFlow exporting router. And MediaNet report, as of now, there is no routers or exporting MediaNet related information with the NetFlow packets. So if there is any routers, then we can see the MediaNet reports over here. How much is the data, latency, RTT value, and if there is any drop. The security analytics tab will tell you, as I told you in the screen, as I mentioned in the screenshot, it lists the security dashboard with all the events that are happening on your network, and you can drill down to each report, each event, and find out which is the offender, which is the target, and what is the port and protocol being used. And it also lists various categories, like it categorizes the events into different problems, that is scans, probes, suspect flows, bad source or destination. You can also click on each particular events and find out who is an offender and who is the target. And moving on to the billing option, you can create bill plan and associate interface IP groups to the bill plan and generate, so that the billing module will start collecting the data for billing purposes and generate billing report. It also has on-demand report, as well as you can schedule the report on a monthly basis, so that it will be emailed to you. And reports. This is a report profile. That is, as I told you, it is similar like IP group, but it is generated from all the data collected. You can define your own criteria and generate report. That is, if I want to see a traffic for HTTP application on a particular device, and I just want the application report, conversation report, source report, and destination report. I'm selecting it, and I'm going to define it for today, Okay, I want to find out what is the traffic is being utilized by, what amount of traffic is being utilized by this HTTP application, and I'm going to do a filter. Okay, one is that is I'm going to specify some source. I want to see one particular source IP address utilization source utilizing HTTP application. I can define and assign this filter to a particular report profile so that whenever I click on that, I can see how much amount of traffic has been utilized. And the admin operation, it has been completely changed. That is, each time when you configure the NetFlow listener port or advanced settings, like if you want to exclude ESP or GRE filters, you need to navigate to different tabs by clicking on product settings. That has been removed, and it will, this new UI will allow you to configure each options which you require with a minimal number of clicks. That is, admin tab has all these options. DNS settings, that is, if you want to resolve DNS, only when the link in the conversation tab is clicked on, you can use this option. Or if you want the reports to be automatically resolved their DNS names, that can be selected over here. And bulk load DNS names, that is, if you want to bulk load some of the DNS with DNS names for a specific IP addresses, then you can use this option. And user defined DNS names, that is, instead of bulk load, if you want to manually specify it, you can use add or modify. And if you want to add some domain sites to the IP addresses, that you can specify it over here. And the server settings, that is, the listener port, web server port, and top records can be seen over here, and you can update it. And next part is a major enhancement, performance tuning. If you have a 8 GB machine and tuning for, I have a 8 GB machine, I want to tune it, I can click on 8148, so it will automatically tune by itself and update it. Once you click on update and restart the service, the tuning will automatically take an effect. And flow filter settings, that is, if you want to exclude the tunnel traffic that are passing through each interfaces, that you can specify it over here for ESP and GRE filter. And access control filter, if you do not want to see traffic that are being dropped by the access list on a router, that you can select the interfaces that has access list, and so that those traffic is not being, will not be calculated. And if you have a WAN accelerator which actually does a compression of LAN traffic and sends out of WAN interface, you have to select the LAN interfacing interface of the WAN accelerator in order to avoid wrong out traffic calculation over here. And radius server settings, if you want to give secure authentication and want to audit the users who are logging into the NetFlow Analyzer, you can specify radius server authentication and specify the radius server credentials over here, and create users in NetFlow Analyzer and assign them for radius authentication. And storage settings, raw data settings, as usual, like how long you can store raw data, and if you want to send an alert, if free disk space goes below a certain percentage, that can be seen over here, and automatically delete older raw data when free disk space goes below a certain percentage can be seen or can be set over here, and redirect last to us to aggregated. In NetFlow Analyzer, except IP group, all the reports generated for last to us will be from raw data. And if it is a huge flow setting router, and you can use that, you can select this option so that it does not scan millions of records to generate a report. Just generate top 100 report. 1 minute data storage, how long you are going to store 1 minute traffic data, and NBAR CBQS data storage setting, how long you are going to store NBAR and CBQS data collected. And user data storage, that is, if you want send some information to NetFlow Analyzer about your installation, you can select this option, enable or disable. And mail server settings, for sending emails from NetFlow Analyzer, For it is used for scheduled reports, alert profiles, and if there is no flows received, it also sends an alert. For that, you have to specify the email server settings. Proxy server settings, if you have any proxy server between the NetFlow Analyzer server and the router which is exporting NetFlow packet or the internet cloud, you have to specify the proxy server settings over here, so that users access from the outside world can also bypass the proxy. And Google Map settings, you can assign locations of each routers in a Google Map after getting a Google key which is free. If you have a Google account, you can integrate it into the product, so that you can place all the routers in their location and draw a network layout. That is configure network layout option. And CM server settings, central manager settings, that is for WAS module. You can specify the IP address, code, protocol, username, password, and time zone, and update it so that the CM server will be automatically added to NetFlow Analyzer with their corresponding WAE. And NetFlow WAE mapping, that is, as I told you, you can compare NetFlow report with the WAE compression and decompression ratio. So you can select the router name and the WAE to which it is peering, and you can compare the report. You can have to map it so that in WAS report you can see the comparison. And WAS WAE application mapping, that is, if you want to map some application for to see what is the compression and decompression ratio, you can see it over here. And moving on to the device groups, that is, it is same as the one which is in the earlier version. You can group the device or interface into a single group and assign for user authentication so that he can see only that particular device associated to a device group. And IP group option will allow you to create IP groups based on IP address, IP range, or from one site to other site IP address, between site options, and generate a report, so that you can also associate the IP groups to a bill plan to generate billing. An IP group can be used for various monitoring parameters, like if you want to monitor department-wise bandwidth or client traffic utilization, and if you want to monitor one particular server traffic utilization, you can use IP group option. Or if you want to see site-to-site traffic, you can see it using NetFlow Analyzer, using the IP group option. Alert profile, you can create alert profile in NetFlow Analyzer for a link down. That is, if an interface on a particular router goes down, it sends an alert, which is a pre-configured one. If there is no flows on a particular interface, it also sends an alert. That you have to select it over here and specify the email address. And you can also define alert criteria based on the traffic utilization for interface or IP groups. And if you want to monitor in traffic or out traffic for interface or IP group, you can specify it over here. On a particular interface, if you want to find out, if you want to send an alert for a particular IP address utilization, you can specify it over here and send an alert for various parameters like utilization, volume, speed, packets, and it can be sent as an SNMP interface, SNMP trap, or email. And moving on to the scheduled report, the scheduled report will allow you to schedule all the reports which you are seeing it on the UI. You can see what are all the reports that are available for scheduling. And you can select various time periods like daily, weekly, monthly, and only once. And you can also use business hour filters to filter the business or non-business hours. And application and QoS mapping, as I told you, earlier it was around 1,500 application map in the product. Now it has been increased to 10,000 applications. So all the application traffic that are passing through your network is being categorized. And you can create application group to monitor. If you want to monitor only a particular group of application traffic, that you can do it using application group option. And DSCP mapping, we have DSCP mapping available, or if you have already a customized DSCP mapping on your network, you can do a mapping over here. And when you go to a particular application tab, there is option called top sites. I'll show you where it is. When you go to a particular interface and click on application tab and click on top sites, it loads traffic utilized by each site. Traffic utilized by each site. So if you know some of the application, if you know some of the IP address URL, you can specify it over here in the application mapping top sites option. So see, I know that Facebook.com is using some 203.169 168.1.1 and it uses HTTP. Let me put it as it uses HTTP as a proto application and add it so that whenever traffic coming from this particular IP address, it will be classified as Facebook. We've also mapped some of the applications, some of the URLs over here. You can see gmail.com, yahoomail.com, and blogger.com, facebook.com has been added. If you know some of the IP address of your region, you can specify it over here. And user management will allow you to create users locally, or you can also create users for radius authentication. And you can create any number of users in NetFlow Analyzer. There is no limitation. License management will allow you to manage or unmanage the interfaces that you want to monitor and you do not want to monitor. Which, if you unmanage some of the interfaces, it releases some of the license count, so you can manage some critical interfaces for monitoring. And our licensing is based on number of interfaces to be monitored. That is, if you have 10 routers with 2 interfaces each, one is LAN and MAN interface, and if you are considering only LAN interface to monitor, you can get a 10 interface license and unmanage all the LAN interface, so that all the 10 MAN interface is managed and monitored through NetFlow Analyzer. And you can apply the license by clicking on Apply License option over here at the top right corner. You can find out the pricing by clicking on Buy Online. And if you want to refer this product to a friend, you can click on Tell a Friend. And the other option, when you click on top right corner, themes, you can select another theme which is available for the product. Select creamy blue and update it, the UI changes to a creamy blue option. And that's it. The training for NetFlow Professional and Professional Plus 9.5 has been completed, and if you have any question, you can send it through chat. We'll answer it and send it to your email addresses. I hope the training was useful. Yeah, we got a question like, is there any upgrade process change? No, it is not. You can use the same upgrade procedure to upgrade the product, and the system requirement is same as the one which you're running it now. There won't be any extra hardware needed, extra resources needed for this new version. Only the UI level changes and some major feature enhancement has been done on this particular version. Yeah, one other question is it is about flow rate. We have to find out the exact flow rate in a real time. You have to run a product. One of the question is he's managing 100 interface and the flow rate is 3.2 GB. I'm not sure how this has been calculated. Please do click on product settings, storage settings, and send me the flow rate, so that I can tell you whether it is supported or not. This particular Professional or Professional Plus can handle up to 8,000 to 10,000 flows per second if the machine is really good enough. That is 64-bit machine with at least 16 GB of RAM and quad-core processor. We can tune it and we can use it for without any issues. One other question is about storage in NetFlow Analyzer. As I told you, we are storing two types of data. One is raw data and aggregated data. Aggregated data is stored forever in the database, which is based on top 100 aggregation for application and conversation. And it is not user configurable. It is stored forever in the database. Only it is rolled up into different granularity. Raw data can be stored for maximum of 30 days. It is user configurable. If you want to store it for less number of days, that you can do it by clicking on Admin tab and clicking on raw data settings. And that's it for now. We'll end the training session. And if you have any questions, you can send through a chat. We'll take out all the questions and answer it to you. And do send us a feedback to us if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions on the product. We'll be happy to enhance it in the next releases. Bye.